Steve here. Welcome to Red Flag Life. Yes, the space where is not too well catered for in the whole YouTuber sphere, where it's all about avoiding single mums, going MGTOW for the guy space and for the lady space. All men are bastards, and men need to step up and all that sort of shit. I'm trying to bring up how it is, and when you notch up red flags, we also have a life to get on with, right? We have a right to get on with life as well. And today's subject, it's the guy's turn, an extended, a continuation, more accurate. A guy that's in baby jail. Needs to be honest with his predicament. I've just finished episode, a video recording about single mothers, and this one is about dudes that are in baby jail of 1, 2, maybe 3 kids. If you got more, well, you're probably not going to be listening here, so I'll just reference the whole 1, 2 or 3 kids that you might be unlucky enough to also be paying alimony or spousal support. You would have had to be quite a decent money earner for that sort of thing, for that sort of misfortune to be part of you. But the whole child support, which is the baby jail concept, you're in baby jail, the whole child support complex for the next 13 years if there's a 5-year-old, if there's a 1-year-old, 17 years, and if they go to tertiary education, even longer, right? In Australia, like, if the kid goes to tertiary, well, you're right for that as well. Jeez. And misfortune, and I'll bring it up often, but 80% of divorces and just relationship split-ups are initiated by the women. Yes, men propose and women dispose. And if gents, you end up in baby jail, it's a real shit, isn't it? I know. No. And yes, your kid still needs to be provided for, but guess what? Women step into other relationships, so they're getting money from you and money from the next gent, and even from their own labour, and from the government. So no wonder many, I'm not saying all, of course not all, but many women use that as a calculated decision-making process. If she's had enough of you, and there's even a line ball in getting resources from the government versus you, and if she's resenting you, there's a high likelihood that you're gone, Jack, and you're in baby jail. And no wonder there's movements like the whole MGTOW movement, and the whole red pill, black pill, and the increased sales of, what's it called? Sex dolls? Yeah, so it's a sad state of affairs. And video game players seem to be getting older. I wonder why. can't take the agency away from the fellas. We need to take responsibility for our own choices. We made a choice. We approached a woman and we kept on going with that woman shit testing us all the time, nagging us. And then you start to resent her, she resents you back, and then she pisses you off. And you're now in baby jail. And maybe 10% of guys end up with full care of the kids. Another 40-50% have a degree of shared access, and the others no access or nil. Very little access or nil. Yes, it's not the best situation for the child. I regret my situation. But at the time, those are the decisions that we made. But we still have a right to get on with it, to get on with life with those red flags. And maybe, gents, you need to accept red flags in the women, in the future relationship prospects that you now need to pursue, consider. If you're not earning 6 figures, and if you have a dad bod and aren't the most articulate or pleasant of men, don't expect a non-red flag woman to come your way. So if you have that particular red flag, which is a dozy, being in baby jail, oh my goodness, 30% less resources straight away off the bat going to the next family, woman, whatever that you're heading towards. Oh dear. No wonder many men drop their work ethic, or don't work at all, or do cashies in a cash economy type thing. I've been attempting that. You think anyone willingly gets on that? Nah, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard. So they're the considerations. Dropping your bundle, living in your mother's basement, that sort of thing. Not working that much, or if you are going to work, like if you're fortunate enough to have a business and you scoot your income, you downplay your income. Just imagine if you're on 200 grand and you have to pay 30% in child support. Like, it doesn't cost 60 grand to bring up a 4-year-old, 13-year-old child. For fuck's sake. And most of that 60 grand isn't going to the benefit of the child. Do you really think that that overseas trip is a benefit for the child or for the mother? How about that Botox that the mother gets? Is that a benefit for the child? Like, you fuck. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That handbag, is that a benefit for the child? It doesn't cost $1,000 a week to bring up a 7-year-old or 11-year-old child. Unbelievable. But, a lot of fellas will know all the arguments. But that is the public policy, the legislation, the law, the expectation, what pretty much women have voted in. And since women got the vote, more and more safety and security has come into the into society with social security, government handouts, and the more female presidents and prime ministers come in, the more immigration, even more money going to health and education. Whatever happened to educating our own kids, taking responsibility and educating our own kids? No wonder children these days don't have any bond. Like code for bond is what kids aren't listening to me. That's coming from the ladies. Listening means compliance, and from the men it's usually the little shits these days. Yeah. Because we put them into daycares, public schools, and we expect them to like us, to bond with us. No. That's the state of affairs, and but in those shitty decisions that we got ourselves into and made, and or even if those decisions weren't made, you're in that predicament, and you need to do what you need to do as well. The man that's in baby jail needs to now take on more mammalian decision making, just like the episode before this with the single mothers. They're already making mammalian decisions, but the guys, yes, they got angelic the decisions of an angel still in them, but it's going to be hard. So you need to be more mammalian. You need to be a bit of a mongrel to get on with your red flags, and in this case, in this video example of baby jail. And if you're in a general wage earning situation, and 30% off the top, not just your take home pay, off the top, so 50 grand a year, what's that, 30, excuse my math, but let's just say 16 grand, 16 grand is going in child support. 16 grand to you and 16 grand to the government. Oh, I earn 50 grand. No, you earn 16 grand. You earn 16 grand, Jack. No, it's actually more. It's more than 16 grand because, 30% there, 40% goes to, mate, how about your car registration, paying for your license, your rates bill, your water bill. What, they're not taxes? Let's get that back down to not bloody 20 grand, 16 grand. Let's put it down to 10 or 12 grand now. And that 10 or 12 grand is supposed to get a high status woman. You're dreaming, dude. You're fucking dreaming. You're dreaming. So, even the dudes need to lower their expectations and be honest. And if you're only on 50 grand, you better accept maybe a 4 chick. That's a size 16, 20. Shit. And you might be a size 44 in the pants. You can't expect an 8. A high status woman. Fucking don't be dipshit, mate. Yeah, if you're on a $250,000 and you wear a size 44, bowling and a bit grey, you could probably get a 7. You're lucky to get get a chick that's still without kids and no red flags at age 28. But yeah, that's hard. It's hard. You better be, to get a woman that's got no red flags with a clean slate. The whole no kids and a size 6 or 8 in Australian sizes. Probably a size 2 in the US. Well, you better be 6 foot and well into 6 figures, Jack, because you ain't getting shit if you don't have the looks or the figures. Okay, so you better be honest too. And if you're playing computer games with Cheeto dust on your chest, wearing a size 40 belt, looks like a lot of porn for you, Jack. Looks like a lot of porn for you, mate. So you gotta do what you gotta do. And if you're a normal wage earner, just say 50 grand a year, and you're only earning, say, 12 grand in the pocket, your prospects are shit. Don't expect to have a good chick. Yeah, you might be lucky, but it's just like, that's a lottery win. That's a lottery. So you two gents need to do what you got to do. Be honest. Hey lady, I got a place, or in the rarer case, hey lady, you got a place. How about I sort of shack up with you? Join up with you. Let's get on with the rest of our life. We've had these misfortunes. I'll work hard. If you're working too, that's fine. Look, I'll, if you're working 40 hours and I'm working 32 hours, I'll do all the housework. Step up in that way, gents, because you fucked with your red flags. So, expectations, honesty is for the gents as well. We need to be a mammal, just like, or more like the ladies, because for the ladies, where they value safety and security, it's much more of a mammalian space versus the angelic. Yes, the man in my What Do Men Want episode, I said that men value freedom and liberty. Liberty pretty much means without authority. Men do respect a pecking order because it's at the risk of violence, and they do respect competent leadership in their spaces. And so if you're the sort of MGTOW that's a libertarian and thinking about the government is a real shit, and child support is terrible. Well, 60% of voters are women, and you voted for it too, for the whole social security nest egg. It is a nest egg to a lot of people, but that security net. Men don't realize that the whole access to healthcare and education is all a women voter driven complex. Men never used to take that for granted. Like, why do you think we used to hire tutors to for specific education of our kids. But in general, we used to, back in history, we used to educate our own kids, and part of a stay-at-home wife, the women were the transferers of our culture. Now it's woke ideology, and that's where we're losing our kids even quicker, more efficiently. It's probably too late now to, if you already have kids, to homeschool them, but if you're starting again and not quite there yet, well, if you still want to bond with your kids, you better bond with them. And bonding with them means maybe homeschooling. Don't expose your kids to those psychopathic kids. There's some real whack job kids already in the making in the public school system. Some of the trauma that some of these kids are going through, and your kids are mixed up with them, and if your kids have already been through trauma, well, that's massive misfortune. Yes, throughout history it wasn't that crash hot for the kids, but we have better means now. But we're just not taking advantage of it. We're relatively very well off in living standards, and we can probably afford to homeschool our kids, but too fixated on this whole work and holidays and nice little toys, especially for the guys. So even for the guys, that's the moral of today's episode. Lowering your expectations. Do what you need to do with the whole baby jail. They're the options, like don't work less, or hide the money. I wish I could hide the money if I had any, or if I had my own business, sort of do this and that to lower the impact of the whole child support thing. No, you're not. Look, if you're earning $100 grand and 30 grand's going to the child, it's not going to the child. Yes, she can buy a better house and have access to a better house, and therefore your child benefits. Well, come on. She's getting money from the government and from the other dude as well. If your child needs orthodontics or contribution to a car when they reach driver age and or access to private school, do a negotiation to pay for the costs of, say, the private school. But to get $300 a week to go to a woman's handbag, more likely, that's fucked. But most guys already know what the deal is there, so you got to do what you got to do. But to get on with it, you need to be honest and lower your expectations as well. And that involves being more mammalian. And yes, even though we like to be an angel, you chaps need to do what you need to do as well. That's it. Ciao for now.